What's up, guys, and welcome back to another show. We have got some many amazing, awesome, crazy, amazing, awesome things.
Many for all of y'all.
A few many things. I don't know. I was just trying to sound stupid for some reason. I was trying to sound like Kamala, who we will be talking about today. We got Kamala. We got a person that you would not think would openly support the opposition of Kamala, but he has, and we're proud of that man. You might recognize the quote, "I'm not a fighter, never said I was a fighter." Not as proud as moment, but homie has turned a page. And the funny thing is, I've been seeing over the last few months, people have been saying, "Man, I really like this guy now." Like, oh, he's making funny content. He's roasting himself and the behavior that he like engaged in back in the day. Oh, I love him. And then he says this, and it's like, there's a lot of people supporting him, and a lot of people are getting tight.
This reminds me of the people that are just like, where are the men that look conservative but believe like a liberal? Because like, I want a man. Like, I want a masculine man. I want that, but I want him to affirm every single thing that I believe.
Yeah,
like, you're never gonna find this. Sorry, that's not gonna happen.
It's giving
and
that.
That's what it was. Like, people loved Bryce Hall because he was like, okay, I'm not this like soft dancer boy anymore. Like, I'm just like gonna be me, be real. And
guess what that did? Guess what not being that boy did? It made him a conservative.
Dread it.
It made him run from it.
Destiny arrives.
It's all the same,
bro. I'm just saying. And Bryce Hall has arrived there. That's not even our first clip, but we love that.
It's not, but I just want to get into it.
But
what is our first clip?
Our first clip, what we got is so many people try to discredit what people have been saying about Kamala Harris and what Tulsi Gabbard was saying about her, how she locked up almost 2,000 men on false or
Tulsi Gabbard
marijuana charges.
Silly. She's a villain.
Oh yeah,
she made her look like a villain.
Held people beyond their sentence. Wrongfully convicted multiple people. People were saying she has a very bad track record when it comes to this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have a video.
She never knew how to do her job.
And it just seems like that's been the case from
day one.
Inception to where we are now. But we have a video testimony from someone that is one of the people that this happened to. A victim.
It's Kamala Harris.
Actually crazy. So let's go ahead and roll this first clip for y'all.
In 2008, I was framed for murder and wrongfully convicted by the office of Kamala Harris, sentenced 50 to life in prison. It took me 5.5 years to ultimately get back in the trial due to prosecutorial misconduct, and it took me another year to go to my second trial, to which I was vindicated by a jury of my peers. When I got convicted, Kamala Harris was in the courtroom. When I got sentenced 50 to life in prison, Kamala Harris was in the courtroom. When I look back and I seen her, she was smiling. And she did that stupid ass laugh that she do right now. This shit ain't funny.
Right. And the reason we play this, and obviously if you make a mistake in this position, it can happen. As unfortunate as a mistake as it can be, the reason we play this video is to bring awareness, but like validate the claims that have been brought against her.
This is not the first time she's done stuff like this.
It's not. This is one of the many.
Yes.
But people are trying to make it seem like this hasn't happened. Over 1,900 people were in jail for 900 people were in jail for marijuana possession or whatever.
Yeah, possession of marijuana.
People are trying to say that only 45 people were. And then it's like when you look into the details, and I wish I had the video for you, but like there's like different levels of jail. There's like prison, there's jail, there's county, there's whatever, like all this different stuff. 45 people were in one of those jails.
Yep.
The other 1,900, which you can look through all of it, are the other ones where it's like one is like where it's like 5 years or longer, and then the other's like 6 months to a year you're in jail. But regardless, you're in jail.
Yep.
And she did that. There are multiple people on like the smallest amount of marijuana you could hold, put him in jail.
And then has the audacity to sit there and be like I think it was a Breakfast Club, so Charlamagne laughing about how her experiences with smoking weed and stuff.
Oh, right.
You'd think, as a liberal-minded person, individual on the side of the right of love and acceptance, something that's so like that is legalized now, and we all knew at some point probably would be, that you would not be that hard on people for such a thing. Like you imprisoned and jailed so many of them, and then have the audacity to laugh about engaging in the behavior. Not to say when you were younger you didn't make mistakes and do things, but even if you made mistakes being younger, your whole demeanor towards it should be like, I was at fault, and I'm so grateful that I never got in trouble for it. Because if you're responsible for doing that to so many people, you should always have the notion of, yeah, I did this and it's wrong, and that's why it's harmful and it's dangerous, and that's why I needed to do all these things. I wanted to combat it so hard, not laughing on a talk show host. Yeah. I smoke weed, and I incarcerated all these people for doing it.
She's one of them hyenas from the Lion King.
Yo, she is.
My thing is,
Whoopi Goldberg.
How wicked
Whoopi Goldberg,
of a person? No, real. But
cut from the same cloth.
How wicked of a person are you to have done everything you've done with that, getting people arrested and put in jail, whether it's a year or 10 years, regardless. It's gross that it happened. But then at the same time, now that it's accepted, you're laughing and mocking them like, oh yeah, I did it at the time that I was arresting these people, the time that I was getting them longer sentence than they needed. I was smoking it. But now that it's accepted, yeah, I was doing that.
Yeah.
Now that you can do it legally in multiple states.
Was it during it? Is that what
it was. I mean,
I don't know if it was before when she was younger, or was it when she was doing it? Because I didn't know. I didn't know that.
I don't know if actually. I don't know if I just made that up or not.
I don't know.
So I've heard multiple people say that. It was during.
I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised.
Say it was during. I heard people say it was before. Point is that she was doing it, and then she went on a hardcore.
If you were doing it before, well, that's what I was saying. Like, if it's one thing, if she I did it when I was younger, it was terrible. There's so many negatives to it. It's just a harmful thing to do in this, which you're not saying now. But that's what you genuinely believe. So you went so hard against it because you didn't want anyone to go through the struggles and pain of what it would be like to engage in that activity. Then that'd be one thing. But even still, it's like show some mercy because you used to engage in it too. Don't be so hard. Even if you are going to put some stuff on, but legally hold them accountable to the law, which you should. Don't be as harsh as possible. And then to do that, not to show some sort of grace and leniency on people, that's crazy. And if you're doing it during, you're a different type of villain, bro. You're a different type of villain. Yo, I'm incarcerating all these people, but oh my gosh, I can't help it. You know, so sweet. Good. That's sweet. That's like.
Yeah,
that's a different type
Kamala
of
Harris,
villainy, bro.
It's crazy. No kind of compassion towards the people. And we're playing this because this isn't even the marijuana stuff. This is murder, wrongfully convicted of murder, and she's sitting there as this man's being sentenced.
This last guy,
This last guy being sentenced and just like cackling, laughing, and he's wrongfully convicted.
I didn't do anything.
He was going to spend 50 years of his life in prison. He did not a single thing. He didn't do a thing. But Kamala, this under her administration,
he's a black man too.
It was under her administration. So is she directly responsible? No, but she's in the courtroom laughing, 100% on board.
But can we talk about how everyone's saying, "Oh, you got to support Kamala because she's black. She's a black queen. She's one of us. Like we should want this. We should be celebrating. We need to be praising this, regardless of what the difference is, guys. We got to celebrate black excellence." But you put black people in prison for doing nothing wrong at all. Yeah. And don't get it twisted. Tulsi Gabbard said it before, and I'm always gonna. Every time we talk about her, I'm gonna bring this up. Every time we talk about her, I'm bringing this up. You withheld evidence that would exonerate an innocent man, and you wanted him to be in prison, and you had to be forced to present the evidence in order for them to be set free. You are evil.
Is so evil.
That's evil.
That is so
I'll never vote for you. I wouldn't vote for you for a myriad of reasons, but that alone is the number one. Like, you're actually the villain of the story.
How do you do that?
Like, you're actually the villain. You knew they were innocent and you withheld that evidence. Psycho. Yeah, psycho.
That should be enough.
Psycho.
That alone should be enough. And along with the fact that she herself thought Joe Biden was a racist, and then she went along and was his running mate
because she wanted to be the vice president.
It goes to show how fake of a person she is.
Yep.
Her character was trash for all of her career. No one liked Kamala Harris. No one liked
Nobody
her. Tried to run for president. No one wanted to vote for her.
She got 0 votes, I heard.
She did
0?
She couldn't get enough people to support her it didn't work out for her, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately, but then she became the vice president.
Right.
But
that's unfortunate.
Now we are being gaslit. And have you heard of the Brat Girl Summer?
I've heard of it. I'm not tracking with it. I don't know what's going on here.
I won't act like I know everything about it, but essentially girls are in their brat era, right? So just based on what you're hearing, it can't be anything good.
Like Bratz dolls?
Well,
is it like Hot Girl Summer? Being sluts?
I think it's just the next level to Hot Girl Summer. We had Hot Girl, and now we leveled up. So now we're like extra extreme ultra lord sluts.
Ultra. First of all, Bratz has never been seen as being called a brat is not a positive thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
People-
that is.
People are trying to say that Kamala is in her brat era, and like we are gonna, as brat girls, carry her to the victory. Like so many people, she's a brat girl.
Like Bratz dolls.
I don't. If it's brat dolls, and I'm just so confused. But there is a movement of women, and specifically black women, but not only black women, not exclusively black women, that are hardcore. Kamala Harris is one of us. We see her dancing on TikTok, her making a video saying, I've heard I've been on people's FYP recently, even though just months ago she tried to ban the app.
The same administration, yo.
The same administration that she okayed and agreed with. Now she's on there like, oh, I heard, like, no, you're fake. Her whole career is being fake. She lied. I mean, he just saying Joe Biden's a racist and lied on him or told the truth. And now she's switching up to support him. Best man I know. Such BS. Your whole candidacy.
It's fake.
The only thing you have is being a black woman.
But it's just public knowledge that both of your teams hate each other. Like the Biden administration, or the Biden people, and the Kamala team. Like I heard they don't like each other. Like I feel like it's a well-known fact that was stated before. So everything is all just
fake,
freaking.
bro.
It's fake. Yeah, you want the world to. I mean, I understand presenting a united front. Like I understand not getting along with people and then trying to stand firm and be united, but it's just you guys have lied over and over again to us. It's just like it just comes off as disingenuous, and you're fake, and anything to continuously progress yourself in an upward trajectory towards the Oval Office is all. It's like anything that you can do to come off as if you are some morally superior, like individual. It's just individual. It's just annoying.
Yeah,
and it's fake, and we see through it. So nobody's rocking with you.
Exactly. We have eyes, right?
Yes.
And we have common sense.
No, we're not allowed to use them though.
Apparently not. No, but the fact that people don't care about what she like, they don't understand what the president of the United States is. They don't understand their position. The fact that they only care, multiple people, that she is just black or a woman, or that she's one of us, she's one with the culture, and that means she should be the president of the United States, the most important person in America, is so mind-boggling to me. And it just shows me that you don't care about this country. You don't care about it succeeding. You don't care about the day-to-day life that you live. You don't want to have a better economy. You don't want to have more money going into your pockets, less taxes. Like you don't care about your day-to-day life. Not at all, because all you want is representation in the White House.
Yeah.
How stupid can you be to only care about representation in the White House when there are so many problems? So many people disagree with the Israeli war. People disagree with the Ukraine war. And they disagree with our way of going about things. But you are going to vote for the same person that was a part of that because she's a black woman and one with the culture. You don't care about your day-to-day life. You don't care about the problems that are coming our way. You don't care about ending war and genocide like you claim to, because you want to vote for this person because they're black and a woman. I can't stand this.
Well, Taraji, I'm out here in these streets.
Oh my goodness, bro.
That's all it is. I say it every time. But like, this just shows identity politics are just is taking the dub here. Like people have really just focused on the unimportant issues, or not even issues, the unimportant facts of the matter, like these unimportant statistics or things such as like the race or gender, like things that don't matter in terms of like how we can positively impact the country. It literally has no bearing on whether or not we're successful or not. If they're a girl, if they're black, it means literally nothing. But because you focused on that and emotionalized and extremely marginalized and created these created this division, that's why we're at this spot. Like, oh, black people, they're oppressed, systemic racism, trying to make them seem as if they're the victim. All these marginalized communities, all these marginalized groups, white supremacy, all these things happen to create these emotional feelings within the American people to feel as though if they don't do this, they're in the wrong. That is how we've gotten to this place, and everyone is, fell for it.
Yeah,
especially the black community, they fell for it.
So
like, I'm literally voting for Kamala because she's black. That's it.
That's so crazy.
I don't necessarily even rock with her. I don't necessarily like what she says about she's black. She's a woman, and I just feel like that's something that we need.
Yeah.
Why?
How?
Why? Because you've been fed the woke mind virus that Elon Musk talks about all the time. You are literally like you have been infected. It's all over. It's inside.
I'm
crazy.
So sad to be a part of this group of people sometimes, but we have another video for you, kind of just what we've been talking about. But there is a woman who is voting for Kamala, and her reason is what we are saying.
You don't say.
And someone just breaks down, okay, that's stupid, and here's why. So let's go ahead and roll this next clip.
And just be real honest with this. She's a black woman. It doesn't even matter. None of that matters. None of that matters. Why? Only because of that.
Because I would love to see a woman in office.
We're in 3 proxy wars with some of the most powerful leaders in the world. She failed at the border, in which we have an estimation of 15 to 20 million people illegally into this country. That is literally overtaking and bankrupting Chicago to the tune of over $400 million per year, and they are in a deficit. Oakland is going out of business. San Francisco ditto. California, $65 billion deficit. New York, they're literally cutting trash, in which they are the rattiest, dirtiest city, and they've taken up resources as far as free healthcare, free hotels to the tune of $600 a day. They're literally taking over your schools. Your taxpayer dollars are going to fund the migrant crisis. She was supposed to be in charge of this. We have a failing economy. Every single day I see people getting on the internet talking about $30 an hour is the new minimum wage, because inflation is fucking out of control. At one point, it was at almost 10%, depending on what city that you in. She has no policy, no record to stand on. One of the biggest things that she did in her career was lock up more black men than ever before. But we sitting here and vote her in office on identity politics. The very person that she was under as far as the president of the United States of America, she called him racist during a debate, which shows you how fake she is. And the only thing that we can stand on from a policy perspective is whether or not she's black and she's a woman. We did that during the Obama administration, and he didn't do anything for black people. As a matter of fact, y'all complain because the only person that he did, or the only group of people that he really stood for, is the alphabet community, and that's his landmark thing that he's still standing on today. So the only thing that we have to stand on is identity politics. That shit didn't work with Tiffany Henyard in Dalton, Illinois. It didn't work with Karen Bass. It didn't work with Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. It didn't work with Brandon Johnson that then took over her position in Chicago. It didn't work with Andre Dickens in Atlanta. It didn't work with Eric Adams in New York. It doesn't work across the country. Every single Democratic city is a hellhole. And we sitting here talking about identity politics?
And just bars, because thank you. Because too many people are saying this. It is making me actually upset because you don't care about the state of the world that we live in. And as Jaden Smith said, like, I'm just trying to have conversations with people about the economic state of our world or something like that. People called him like silly and stupid. But like realistically, like, no, we should consider this. Like, he was a teenager saying that. People were like, oh my goodness, like, be a teenager. Like, why are you being weird? But no,
maybe because the world's going to
and not like Jaden Smith is like the example that we should be looking for.
No, but the fact that even he has said something like that
is real.
It's just giving.
We are too focused on the wrong things. Identity politics, the focus, the hyper fixation on identity politics will be the end of our society.
My thing is, as politicians, as representatives for states, for the country, your obligation and your job is to do things that benefit your state and your country, which would include everyone. To sit there and try and focus on benefiting and supporting and promoting a demographic, which it takes away from helping everyone. Why would you focus on a sect of individuals if you could make life better for everyone? That doesn't make any sense to say that, but you do it because you come off as some virtuous, virtuous individual. That's your whole point. You don't actually care. You sit there and promote yourself as this beacon of virtue. I'm gonna come and be this hero literally you present yourself as if you're like a superhero, like you're like Batman, like you're Superman. Like, I'm going to the children that are lost, the children that are starving, children that are hurting, and I'm gonna do all these things to help them. No, what would help them is if you did things to boost the economy, if you created jobs, if there were programs that actually incentivize people to work and not to rely on government. Like, you're not doing anything to help anyone. You're doing things to help yourself, to keep yourself in a place of power. Like, the giving money away, it initially helps people in the moment, temporarily. But it's, what is it? What's the saying? It'd be better it's better, and I'm paraphrasing. It's better to teach a man to fish than to give a man a fish, because then if you teach a man to fish, he can continue to fish for the rest of his life and feed himself. But if you just give him fish, he doesn't know what to do going forward, and that's like a terrible.
Forever be reliant on.
Forever reliant on you, and that's what the government wants you to do, and that's what these politicians that are promoting this lifestyle want you to do. They don't want you to be self-reliant. They don't want you to pursue happiness. They want you to pursue servanthood to them and their ways, and coming off as if they're some amazing provider for you, as opposed to you being able to provide for yourself. It's sickening. It's actually disgusting. It pissed me off.
No, this junk gets me so upset. But we will get into more of this. We do have a break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
The world is about to shift. Banks are going cashless globally with the emergence of central bank digital currency, which will bring with it programmable money and the ability to turn on or off your purchasing power based on your digital social profile. It's like the equivalent of spyware in your bank account. You need to get out of the system with the world's safest and most private assets, silver and gold.
Call Kirk Elliott, PhD, at 877-547-5743. That's 877-KIRK-PhD.
Former National Security Advisor, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, pleaded guilty today to lying to the FBI.
He was one of the most respected generals in the military.
Every American needs this historical DVD keepsake. Flynn delivered the truth, whatever the cost. Hand signed by General Michael Flynn. Order now at the Patriot TV store. Use promo code PTV at checkout to get special savings. The Patriot TV store, a secure, hassle-free shopping experience.
All right, y'all, we are back, and yeah, that video was just so needed. I'm glad, and the thing is, like, obviously race doesn't matter, but the fact that it was a panel of all Black people, it is just
that we're communicating on it,
communicating and having a conversation, because too many times we see it where like white people and Black people are trying to have this conversation, and if a white person were to say everything that he said, you could immediately invalidate it by saying, well, you're a white man and you have this,
right?
So
and you're racist or whatever.
And you're racist, and then it's just like, it's like, you don't know me, you don't know my life, but you can. That's a cop-out answer that people will like cling to.
And obviously
like,
that's BS, but like, and we could change, and it would still mean the same, but it means a little. Well, I guess it would mean the same. It means a little more in the context of how people will perceive it on the other side, because he is Black. Just like how when we make content, people look at us sideways because you're not supposed to believe that way. And nowadays things have shifted. But when we first started 4 years ago, it's like there's Black people that believe this way. Yeah, you're, whatever. So it's things that really, the pendulum is swung. People are like, all right, you're allowed to believe a way being on the other side of the skin tone. But like, it's so stupid. But like, this is gonna change someone's perspective. That's not, it either is Black or isn't Black, because you're gonna be like, oh, Black people. The one, he knows more than I did about this. I didn't even know all this happened between all these other people that were in power. But now I'm like, oh, okay, so. This was a good thing.
Yeah, 100%. And like we said in our intro, Bryce Hall, this man, the guy that has one of the greatest like shifts in content and like personality, because he came off as this like douchey, super annoying.
Yeah, well, fruity at first.
Pretty boy, like
fruity though. He'd be like
little zesty dance boy, like
they were all straight, but it was fruity.
Dated Addison Rae, like all that stuff. Like that was him. And he became like a regular person, actually funny, calling his old self out, and like it actually like entertaining to listen to.
Yeah.
And everyone was loving it. Didn't matter whether you were left, right. No one cared whether you were left or right. An actual entertaining guy had some things to say about the nominee for the Democratic Party. So let's go ahead
and roll it
and roll this clip for y'all.
If Kamala Harris is my president after Joe Biden was my president, I'd like it. I'm just gonna off myself.
Yeah. So one, there's two things you can get from here that people were not happy about. One, he's not a fan of Kamala Harris and doesn't want her to run because, obviously.
So you Trump apologist, you?
Then also, he's calling out Joe Biden for not being the best president. Which, if you objectively look at the 4 years of your life, and since Joe Biden has been president, you know it wasn't the best time. And like Trump, the man that's going to start so many wars, the whatever, didn't start any, but Joe Biden. Now we're in 3 proxy wars. Like that would not have happened under Trump, but it did for sure happen under Biden.
Yes.
And do I want to be a part of that? Do I want to be a part of record inflation, almost 10%, like the dude said in some cities? How insane! I don't want that. Now, the person that was his VP, the person that
who signs off on everything that he says,
that pisses me off. The whole border czar thing, regardless of what I don't listen. I don't know what the title border czar is. People are saying that
Kamala
it never
Harris
was a title.
is the border czar. She's the border czar.
Border czar this, border czar that. I don't care. Joe Biden explicitly said so clearly that Kamala Harris, I am putting you in charge of the border. You are the one for the job. I trust you. You're going to take care of it. You're the one. Boom, in front of everyone, video clip. You'll find it anywhere.
And every mainstream news publication said that she is the border czar.
They were saying, and the thing is, there's a compilation video, and I wish we had it.
Yeah, the border czar, she's a border czar, before and after.
All of that. And then the gaslighting that the media thinks they can get away with is actually insane.
Where they come with the border czar, she's never said she was a border czar. No one's ever
I came up from you.
Like what?
It was you.
I never heard of border czar until y'all told me.
Oh my goodness.
Borders, what is that? I don't know. Y'all told me she was a border czar, and now she's not because she's a nominee. She's no longer the border czar?
Because no one can deny how bad the border is.
What are you? What? Y'all actually think we're stupid.
They really do.
You actually think we're... You think... Like, and this is how news is, right? Like, there's hot topics every day. So, like, they forgot what happened 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago. They forgot.
Let alone 4
we
years
said
ago.
they're the border czar. They said she's a border czar. And now it's like, we never said she was a border czar. Where is that coming from?
They're trying to cover their tracks. Like, they're trying to... Old articles saying that. Because, like, the clips they're forever. They're on the internet.
Yes.
People save stuff. It's going to come back. But news articles, people are going back and deleting it about her naming her the border czar. Like, she is that. She was in charge of the border.
And you don't think there's sketchy things going on? You don't think there's sketchy things happening in our society, in our world, in our country, in our government, in the media, that people would be willing to go back on things that they publicly stated as fact because they think it will benefit them in the future for a presidential election? That is creepy.
You think
that is evil? That is disgusting.
Bro, like, do you think you're on the right side of history here? You think you're the ones trying to save democracy? Meanwhile, your candidate that was clearly in charge of the border, everyone is going back, trying to delete the evidence that she was in charge of it, because we all know how terrible it was. It was absolutely disgustingly terrible. Too many people went across the border. So many disgusting things happened at the border. Undeniably bad. Y'all are trying to cover your tracks because your installed candidate, not the elected one, your installed candidate, the only option you could have had because if Joe Biden didn't pick her, like, okay, obviously there's some weird shit going on.
Bryce, I want to be your friend now, bro.
You are
people.
You are doing your best to actually ruin democracy. You are through every avenue trying to keep actual information from the people because democracy only works. It only works if we have all of the information. If we have half of it and make a decision based on half the information, it's not truly a choice.
Yeah,
you are spoon feeding us what we're supposed to believe. We can't make a choice that way. So for you to do what you're doing to cover your tracks and backtrack, delete stuff to make your candidate look better, that is like the epitome of a threat to democracy.
Yep.
You are actually taking away the choice from the people because you're not letting them see all the information. It's ridiculous.
Full of crap.
So Bryce Hall coming to this conclusion saying like, oh, me wanting to have having Kamala Harris be the nominee after Joe Biden after that terrible 3.5-4 years. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, it's because he knows. Like, here's the thing. You don't need to be even the most researched individual on the topic of the last 4 years. You just have to have lived through it, and you know that's not the right choice. Yeah. And I'm so sick of people acting like, because you don't know every single detail, you don't have every single statistic, every single fact, that your life wasn't affected in a negative way by this administration, and it wasn't better in the last. Like, I'm so sick of this gaslighting. Like, oh, we did amazing infrastructure, amazing this. Okay, here, assistant. Why was our life better before?
That's it.
That's it. Literally, Bryce Hall doubled down, and I think he does. Let's show the next clip.
So, yeah, let's roll the next one.
I thought my video made it quite clear, so I'm not voting for Kamala Harris, so you could probably figure it out. So my video made a lot of people mad, and I apologize, but I feel like it offended a lot of people that aren't even old enough to vote. Like this video of the chick that the chick that made the video, does she even? You look 15 max. You can't even vote. Like, sorry for age shaming, but all jokes aside, I think we should all just lighten up, myself included. I think we shouldn't get mad at people for having opinions. You know, like I think we should all just vibe, be friends. Like I would be friends with you. I forget your name, but I'm down to be friends.
And I feel like that shouldn't even be controversial. It's like so simple, so just like, yeah, like I obviously by me saying I don't want Biden or Harris, I am saying I want Trump.
Yeah.
She was trying to like call him out. So who are you saying you're gonna vote for?
Yeah. Let me tell you.
It's so stupid.
The one who I said I'm not voting for, I think you figured it out.
That's the one.
That's
right?
what
It's so stupid. And like the ending message is just so perfect. Like, why is it that I'm being shamed for my opinion? It is my opinion.
You're not allowed to have an opinion, Isaac. You're not allowed to have an opinion unless it's completely proofread and accepted by the woke mob. Because if they say that's not accepted by it is society has decided that's not something that we want to allow. Mainstream society, by the way, not actual society. Because actual society, social media society, and actual society are completely two completely different things. Because the actual society, know that Kamala is whack. We know this administration is trash, and the 70 plus million, 80 million people that voted for Trump last time don't rock with Kamala.
Oh my!
And yet, media and algorithms push certain types of content, try and brainwash you. And this is another form, brainwash you into thinking that you are on the wrong side of history. You are so evil. You're so vile. Yeah. And he just like so clearly points it out. Like I, one, I don't think you're even old enough to vote, but like, why are you guys getting upset with me about my opinion? Like, we can still be friends. Like, we can still disagree. We have our friend Grace who disagrees with us. We love Grace. She's a fun person. She disagrees with us. And we disagree politically. And we are still cool. And that's how it should be.
That's exactly.
And there's people on the right that are like this too. I'm not even gonna lie. I have even people that I wouldn't say like they're friends, but they're like acquaintances in like the space. And they're like, just no, like, fight fire. We hate them for them. I'm like, no, bro, like that's not helpful. It's not helpful.
Not the answer.
It's not fruitful.
The woke mob is the actual correct term because it's like they saw this and that people are so quick. And like, we have another video for you later, but like as soon as they see someone say something like this, their immediate response is cancel them. I don't want to ever have to see their message. I don't want to have to hear.
I don't want anyone else to hear their message either.
I don't want to hear it. And yes, God forbid anyone else hear.
That's the worst part,
terrible
though.
Message that is so anti-me. Let's ruin their livelihood because social media is his livelihood. Let's ruin it. Get rid of them. Have them be gone because no one should have to hear this disgusting message.
It's a hateful message.
Who do you who? Not only who do you think you are, but what country do you think you live in? Right?
This is
because like thinking realistically.
Yeah.
We rebelled.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why we're a nation now. We rebelled against a system that we thought was like
oppressive,
corrupt, tyrannical, oppressive. If we believe the way that these people believe right now, we would still be under the thumb of the king and all of that right now, because it's like, okay, well, this is what's acceptable. This is what's normal. This is what's okay. Society has deemed this as right. So let's just go along and just agree with everything they say. But no, we had a group of people that decided, no, this isn't okay. We want to do our own thing that's truly free and accepting of anyone's belief, right? And we formed the great nation that is America, and we're trying to fight for that. But you guys are like, no, I'm buying into what this everyone else is saying, the what's popular and what's in my face, because that's morally okay and acceptable. You guys are the same people that would have been like slavery is okay.
Yep, and it's
we're the same exact.
It's a subjective way to conduct yourself. It is so subjective to sit there and say, "Oh, I don't want to hear this person anymore." That's your belief.
That's it.
Why are we not acting like millions, half the country, if not more, probably more, support Trump? So we're all evil. So we're all villainous.
Yeah.
We're all xenophobic, homophobic, bigoted. Every single one of us. The half of the country. What makes you the person who's right? What makes you the person who's good? What makes you the person who's moral?
Voice.
Like, no, but genuinely, half of the country disagrees with you, and yet you somehow think there is it's a justifiable act to cancel and silence. You're the evil one.
That's what
you're the evil one.
That's why I was trying to make the analogy I was making, because it's only because it's the loudest voice. The only one that not the only, but the one you're hearing the most of from every form of media. It'd be the same as getting your newspaper and reading that, and it's like, okay, oh, the king says this is what we're supposed to believe, so let's believe this.
Right.
It's the same exact thing at that time. Just like a child in the womb is not a life, a slave was not a life. They're not a person. It's the same mentality, and it's always been on the left, always been the Democrats.
Always.
But they try to like, oh, party switch, whatever. It's always
that never happened.
It's always been that way of thinking that no other outside force could be right. It has to be this because this is what I'm being told is correct. So I'm gonna die on this hill.
It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna die on the loudest voice.
It's actually ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's actually ridiculous.
Can't stand.
But I think we have another clip from Bryce.
We do have one last clip from
one?
Bryce. This is the last one.
Let's please play this clip. Bryce Hall, let's be friends. Let's all just hop on the Smith Bros podcast, and we will sit there and interview you and talk about how you had this red pill awakening that was much needed from someone with that much influence. So let's play this next clip.
Bryce Hall coming out and
I didn't come out. Did you come out? I've seen about 1 million videos of people just shitting on my life because I said that I was going to vote for Trump. After watching all these videos, like you guys changed my perspective on everything. So I am now gonna. I gotta. There's a few things that I need to change, and the first thing to legitimize everything is I got to change my Instagram bio. So now that that's done, and now we're good. So no, but all jokes aside, let's here. If you are a Kamala Harris supporter, and you're obviously over 18 to 24, because according to her, all 18 to 24-year-olds are just stupid. And that's one thing I actually do agree with Kamala on. If you can say something that changes my mind, my perspective, I'll vote for Kamala. I will. I'll even post it. But until that happens, Trump 2024, baby. If you're not stitching this video to try to sway my perspective, click the link in my bio. It's the first 10 minutes of my movie with 50 Cent and Hannah Stocking and a bunch of others. Super sick. Thanks.
And this is the energy we need.
That's that.
And this is the energy we need. If people weren't so afraid of cancellation, and here's the thing, not freaking out crying, oh my God, I'm canceled. Here's the thing, as conservatives, we have been canceled. I've had 4 TikTok accounts banned, and it sucked. But I've never reacted screaming and yelling and upset. But I was just been that sucks. Here's another account. And guess what? Got another account to 80. Got another account to 20. Got another account. Right now, it's almost at 50,000. And it's that's what they're doing. So that's what we're just going to keep creating. But if you just have the energy of yes, fighting for us to be, because I feel social media, since it is us all on a platform where we are, stating it should be an extension of freedom of speech. I don't think there should be any sort of censorship on that. I think because this is something that's created post the Constitution and freedom of speech is something that is in there, this should be an extension of that because you are literally taking away a voice. Yeah. I don't think that should be allowed to be taking people down because you don't like what they say. If they're criminal, they should go to jail. So if they said something illegal, whatever. But I think we should all have that energy. Whenever someone's trying to come at you, calling you a villain, call you terrible because you want to support who you want to support, you be just be like Bryce Hall in this. I don't know him personally, but the way he's acting and taking this heat so passively, okay, yeah, you're upset, but tell me why you would want me to vote for her. If you can actually give me good reasons, maybe I'll actually vote for her because he knows there's not a good reason. He's saying
no, go ahead.
He's saying anyways, yeah, support this movie that I'm doing. His whole energy is I don't really care. I guess he's probably made so much money that he's just you couldn't do anything to ruin my life anyway. Even if I got canceled from everything, I have investments, I have businesses, I'm set. So go ahead, cancel me because I said I'm not voting for Kamala and I want Trump. Please ruin my life. I don't care. I don't know you. And like you said, all of you are 15, 16-year-olds that were told by your grandma, or not your grandma, by your uncle who's also a woman now, and that is wrong. Shut up.
Your uncle, auntie, I don't know.
Uncle, auntie, you don't know what to call them because you're so confused.
What people are
your furry grandma or whatever
giving so stupid. Giving as a reason as to why you should vote for Kamala and not Trump. He's dating this girl, and I think she's Hispanic, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people were oh, one reason you should vote for her because your girlfriend will be deported to Mexico because Trump is a racist and wants to get rid of all Mexicans. And I'm just
people actually believe that.
I could not imagine being so
stupid,
bought into a lie. Actually stupid.
You're stupid.
Because
that's it.
You have never
You're
heard.
just stupid.
You never heard a word that Trump said. You actually could not have possibly heard a single word that Trump has said to actually believe simply because you are Mexican, you are going to be deported. What in the world? What? How are we getting?
Stupid.
How are we getting from illegal immigrants? Doesn't matter if you're Mexican, Canadian, European, from Asia, anywhere. Like, no. If you come illegally, you're gone. It's not because you're Mexican. Illegal. It's so clear. He said it so many times. You're in this country illegally. And yes, he said, like, I don't want to see like a daughter born here separated from their mother, but like we have to do this because there are really bad people.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have come across anyways. He doesn't say that they shouldn't have come across anyways, but like I don't want to see it, but we have to in order to get rid of the bad people.
But you're so insensitive.
There are bad people.
You're so insensitive, Isaac. You're such a cruel human being. How dare you to separate a mother from her child?
Y'all don't care about them. Take them in. You wouldn't take them in. Whatever. The fact is, you believe this nonsensical lie that he wants to get rid of every single Mexican because you actually will not look into things yourself. You won't listen to the speeches that he's given. You won't listen to his messages. You will only get your information from mainstream media outlets that paint him to be this disgusting racist person.
You're an evil,
which is crazy.
Yeah, well, you're an evil individual because you don't actually want to know the truth of the matter and how the real world operates, right? So, like, you want to sit and say, oh, there's a mother separated from her daughter. They crossed the border illegally, so they're breaking our law, so they have no right to be here in the first place. But let's just say Sanctuary City allow them to be here because they're struggling. They come from a place of struggle and like life sucks over there in Mexico. Okay, so let's say those two people are part of a group of 30 people that broke the law and crossed the border illegally. You think it's fine because they're essentially harmless, except for the fact that 3 people of that 30 are actually drug warlords, cartel, will come to our country, murder 100 people, 50 people, 10 people, 5 people, it doesn't really matter. But because of that mom and daughter who weren't harmful but broke the law, so they're criminals, because you care so much about them, it's fine. Even if you did, it's fine that these criminals that cross illegally just like them, cross with them just for the benefit of them, even though they're going to kill a bunch of Americans. That's justifiable. If that happens, like in Riley, she died from an illegal immigrant. That's so messed up. You don't care because if you, I care about these people that aren't even Americans, not that they don't have value, not that their life doesn't matter, it does, but they're not Americans and we have law that we have to follow and literally hold in place because of situations like these people coming and killing Americans to protect our own. That's literally why they do it. And it's why it's a law. And all Trump doesn't enforce it. You call him a racist. Yeah. It's the stupidest thing in the world. And it makes no sense because that's all he ever said. But we do need to go to a break. And we'll be right back in a moment. I'm sorry, I'm hot. So give me this break to chill.
Throughout history, the spirit of patriotism has prevailed. The battles may have changed, but the values remain the same. Today, in 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Because this year is not just any year, it's the most important year since our nation's founding. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying Patriot.tv. I'm Kira, and I am so excited to tell you about our new store. We have everything you could want to show your patriotism around your house. We've got artwork, we've got coffee mugs, there's health and beauty stuff, and even things to decorate with. I've got a few examples here just to give you a little look behind the scenes. First up, by the world-renowned artist Robert Holton, this is part of his Drizzle collection. Give you a better look at that. How cool is that Lady Liberty? Wouldn't that look great in your hallway? And there's even artwork you can wear on your body. God, Country, and Kin, amazing denim jacket for the ladies. Look at this detail and look at the back. Dangerous there with the twin pistols, and ladies, those are not just bullets, those are lipsticks. Yeah, you're dangerous all the way around, right? And there's also stuff you can put on your head all about the cowboy core this year, right? Love these great hats they've got going. Check out the front and the detail on that with the longhorn. Lovely in the back, and it looks even better on. Yeehaw! Love to show my patriotism in a great cowboy hat. Check us out at the Patriot.tv store today. Join me there. So if you've got an itch to do a little shopping and show your patriotic spirit, click that link above that says store and join me there at the Patriot TV store.
All right, guys, we're back. I have had a moment to calm down. Still has me so hot, the lack of common sense that people have. But Isaac made a really good point. Go ahead.
No, it's unbelievable because we started with saying people are commenting, not one person, but multiple.
I've seen this.
Your girlfriend, his Hispanic, I believe, girlfriend.
Yes, she is. She is. I believe she is.
If she wasn't, that'd be insane. She looks like it.
That'd be kind of racist, huh?
But is it not more racist to say simply because she's Mexican, she'll be deported versus an illegal immigrant?
Or Hispanic, whatever she is.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hispanic, sorry, not specifically Mexican, but like, that's crazy. That's actually crazy because people are like, your Hispanic girlfriend will be deported. No.
Yes.
And you thinking that illegal immigrant is a synonymous with Hispanic is crazy.
But it literally shows what you know. It shows the lack of intelligence or the lack of research, the lack of understanding of what Trump was saying that originally coined him this racist person against Mexicans, was that you're sending all the people that are illegally crossing our border and they're doing evil criminal activities in our country because guess what? They're illegal. They haven't been vetted. They haven't gone through the process of legalization because they don't want to, because they know they're bad. They know they're criminals. Like, and there's a few that aren't, they just want to get there because it's so hard and rough in there. And I understand that. And that sucks. That does not justify breaking our laws.
That's it.
Because if you're willing to break our laws now, why would you not be willing to break our laws later? Even if there's smaller scale, you still would be willing to break them because you already did to get here. Yeah, it's such nonsense.
You didn't only get away with it; you got benefits for it.
Yes,
and that's the crazy. That's what Kamala Harris has done for our country.
And to not be able to understand that concept and understand what he was saying, even if you don't even agree. Let's say you understand what he's saying, but you don't agree. You couldn't call him a racist. And the fact that you are calling him that means you don't know what you're talking about. It means you don't know what you're talking about because you genuinely think, and if you genuinely do think this, or you're just having a bad faith argument because you're just stupid, if you genuinely do think this, he never said you couldn't cross our border legally.
Never.
So if his girlfriend is here illegally, which I'm assuming she is, if he's going to vote for Trump, then what are you talking about?
Well, like, if she's born here, and this is the thing that pisses me off because you don't know whether she came here legally, you don't know if she was born here. But simply because she's Hispanic, you're like, she's going to be deported.
So we're going to get into this next topic because I feel like if we keep going on to this Bryce Hall thing, and the way they're behaving about his girlfriend and everything, I'm just gonna like throw something at a wall or something like this. Like, I don't know, something. It's just giving like destruction. I'm just kidding. But we got another clip up here, Isaac, and what are we getting into?
Yeah, so we have a video of this guy, and we've seen him on TikTok. I'm sure you've seen him on TikTok a lot. He kind of, I don't know if he's gay or not, so I don't want to say he is. You would think, but he's like
giving fruity.
He was like very like in the middle, and he's obviously going more and more right as time has gone on based on the current administration.
Mm-hmm.
But he's saying, based on Kamala's recent internet fame, which is blowing up on the FYP, she's like got 3 million followers within a couple of days.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh my goodness, it's super high viral, super viral and like engaging to the youth person. And it's just like, okay. And he's saying what she is doing and what she should have done, which I think is just very telling. And I think it goes to show what she has to offer. So let's go ahead and roll this clip for y'all.
I actually think the Kamala Harris campaign is making a grave mistake right now. They've got millions of eyeballs on them. Kamala Harris is extremely viral. But before I came on here today, I went to Kamala Harris's page. I went to the Kamala headquarters page. I didn't see any videos that actually spoke to the needs of the American people. It's great that Kamala's dancing, she's laughing, she's having a good time, she's talking about her favorite tacos. But the top concern for young Americans right now is home ownership. How am I going to be able to afford a home? We're also stressed about the national debt because that's going to fall on our shoulders, and we're $35 trillion in debt. Kamala Harris, she's curated vibes and aesthetic, but she's not really speaking to the needs of the American people. I would be making that kind of content if I were advising her campaign.
Link, nearly 40,000 new voters registered after Biden stepped aside. So clearly people are getting more energized about this Harris-Trump matchup. Do you think this is going to die down before November? How can both parties really turn out the vote when it comes to Gen Z?
So one thing about Gen Z is what goes up must come down. I've said it for weeks now. Kamala Harris is going to come back down to earth. She's hot to trot right now. There's a big difference between virality and electoral success. Getting people to show up and actually vote for you on November 5th is a whole different beast. And this fallacy is that Kamala Harris is a great, compelling candidate when she's been in utter calamity. If you go and look back at the data, generic Democrat versus Trump, generic Democrat is doing basically what Kamala Harris is doing right now. So anybody who wasn't Joe Biden, who has a pulse, who can walk in a straight line and identifies as a Democrat would be doing what she's doing right now. The last point I have to make is this. The Democrats are touting all of this money Kamala Harris is raising. But back in 2016, Hillary Clinton spent $1.2 billion. Donald Trump spent $600 million. That's a huge difference, and Hillary Clinton still lost.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
That's just bars. And the fact that she can't win based on policy, the fact that the only way to engage with her side is to dance and
meme her way to the top.
Meme her way to the top. One just goes to show like who supports the left, which is just crazy. But just that's not what's gonna, like he said, that's not gonna bring people to the voting booths on voting day. It's not going to work. Eventually you are going to have to say, okay, yes, it was fun to like be viral and like this black woman that's like, yeah, I'm like happy to be president, I'm a black woman, whatever. But at some point you're gonna have to say what you plan to do that's going to actually benefit this country. Like he said, one of the biggest problems in our society right now is that young people can't afford to buy a home. Like parents will talk about how easy it was for them to, but it's like, it's not that anymore.
The youth for
like we can't. I'm sorry, we can't do it. It's y'all's fault for screwing us over. Whatever. What can you do to help us? And Trump has laid out plans with Project 47, with what he's planning on doing to help.
Agenda 47.
I said
not Project 25.
Goodness, and honestly, the left tactics are working on.
They're gonna say it.
They've been saying Project 2025.
It's in your brain,
in my ear for the last however many like.
Even when he denounced it, they'd be Project 25, Project 25, Project 25.
All I hear is Project. Oh my! It's so
Agenda 47.
They are very good at what
they are.
Do.
It's a gift.
Wise to do evil, right?
Wise to do evil.
It's crazy.
The Lord tells us.
Absolutely insane. But like, you will never win against Trump. When we're talking about policy, when we're at the debate, when that happens, which. Goodness graciousness, like
I can't wait.
It's like you almost like feel bad for Kamala because this is going to be so like embarrassing.
I don't even know how that's going to go.
I feel like the only possible way that can make Kamala look good and Trump look bad is to bring up race in some vein or black woman in some vein. If there was any kind of case, any kind of thing where Trump looked bad towards black women,
she's just gonna have a moment where she goes, I'm a black woman and you've always done things to hurt us, and she goes on the thing. There's gonna be this huge, it's gonna allow those will be circulating in the media like crazy
to like go to the vote. That's the only card she has. She is not, and people try to say she has a great respectable record. No, she does not. She does not have a great record. She has a terrible record. Even if she did 3 good things within her tenure, whatever, however long it was, she's done thousands of bad things.
Yeah, like the worst, for sure.
It's unbelievable. We can't act like her record is positive. It is not. Very bad.
It's spotless.
She is just crazy. They got you.
So spotless record.
The memes are working on you. The coconut tree.
The coconut tree, Isaac, and the passage, significance of the passage of time. I think there's so much significance within that passage of time. And we're all here today to acknowledge that significance, to experience that significance. There's always a passing of time in which you are in life, and then you just experience the significance in what that time passes. And then there's community banks in which the banks that are, they support the community. They support the community. They're here for the community. They're put in place for the community, and that's what the banks are here for, because the community.
Very good, Kamala. She can just keep. She can go.
She thinks she's cooking too.
Once she starts, she can't stop, bro. And she just repeatedly saying the exact same words over and over. It's hilarious.
She's a clown. She's a clown. John Ralphio, shout out. Hey,
Shout out to
Parks and Rec,
We
man.
do have one last clip for y'all, and this is like a Bryce Hall situation with what he's saying. But as you know, Sonia Massey tragically lost her life
murdered by this evil cop.
to this disgusting cop.
Also, a quick fact check. Apparently, she did actually throw the pot. There's a slowed down version, and Isaac actually. Well, I don't know. It maybe or maybe not a fact check because Isaac said there's other people. I don't. It's very unclear, but I know Brandon Tatum put a video showing that there was a clip, a portion where she actually threw the pot in slow motion. He paused it and looked at the pot. The pot was in there. She's throwing it. Even if that was the case, still an evil life. There's no justification. But fact check for ourselves, just in case, that we said that nothing happened. She didn't do anything. She, knees on the ground, hands up. Apparently, she did attempt to throw the water, which is weird, but it still wasn't justified for sure.
Yeah. So from the less perspective, this is like the potential next George Floyd that they can like rally behind.
Right.
BLM is like, even though they're anti-Kamala right now because it wasn't a Democratic pick, but they were planning on writing on the fact that cops shot down another black person. But at the same time, they're saying like, okay, Kamala Harris as a cop should be the next president of the United States. So this guy calls
You can't have it both ways.
Oh my goodness, the crazy backlash that he gets. But let's go ahead and just roll this quick, like 13-second clip.
Anyways, you need to vote for a cop. And if you don't vote for the cop, you're not voting for the cop. You need to vote for the cop because it's the cop's turn to be president.
Yeah. So it's such a stupid.
And that was honestly one of the most intelligent things I've ever heard in my life.
That was
I feel now smarter having heard it.
I feel like that was Kamala Harris coded, right? Because it was just like so perfect.
Yeah.
She's just like so well at saying the same thing over and over again.
It's like when who coded the Straw Hat ship with
Rayleigh?
Was that Rayleigh who did it?
Yeah.
He coded the ship. Was Rayleigh who did it?
Yeah,
he coded the ship?
Rayleigh did it.
Okay. That's what he did. He coded himself in Kamala's dialogue and Kamala's communication skills. Honestly, it's a gift. Here's the thing. When I say it's a gift, I'm not joking. That is a gift. That is a gift to be able to speak in that way. To speak like her, to speak as if what everyone says, like she talks as if she is like writing an essay and she needs to hit the 100,000 or the 1,000 words or whatever, 1,000 word essay. She got to hit everyone, so she should be repeating stuff and regurgitating the same thing to make it seem as if she's somewhat intelligent. That is literally Kamala Harris, and that is what this man did here. And it was beautifully done. And it was beautifully done.
Beautifully done. But he also called out the hypocrisy of the left because two things can't be true at the same. These two things cannot be true at the same time. We can't call out police officers for shooting down innocent black people, but at the same time uplift someone.
Defund the police, but also
because they are police officers. Yeah. Let's defund them, but also lift up and give all our money to these police officers.
You know why they're doing that? It's because it didn't work. Defund the police didn't work. People don't agree with that. They say defund the police, and then as soon as they're in a situation of worry or fear because something criminal might be happening, guess who they call? 911. So it's BS. And so they're like, okay, that didn't work. So let's just embrace it. Yeah, exactly. It's about time we have a cop. Kamala Harris. No, thank you. No, thank you. We don't want that.
They're really trying to play every.
Yeah, they really are. Sorry. We don't rock with her. She's trash. She's the worst. The worst. Really, it's absolutely dreadful. Like I can't believe you can be black all you want. You're still the worst candidate to ever run for office, and you didn't really run either. You just make it the general election. Installed individual. Nobody wants you. But anyway, that's all we got for tonight, guys. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace.